Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Welcome 2017 and good afternoon. And welcome to the Great Lakes Health Radio program. I'm your host, Francesca Messiah from Kaleida Health. At Kaleida, we see people and not just patients. Our topic for today, our topic for today, this is what I thought of. I said, what is not only my number one resolution, but what is the country's number one New Year's resolution? And if you can't guess, you guess? Okay, you may guess. I can see the hands of the audience. That's eating and nutrition. And everyone wants to do better. Most people would like to eat healthier because there's so many diseases and everyone would really like to eat healthier. However, it's always so many questions. You know, you hear every day on the radio, you see infomercials. However, we want facts. We want facts about nutrition and eating healthy. So our guest for today is Kathleen Kornacki. Hi, Kathy.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
And Kathy is with Kaleida Health, and she's one of our registered dietitians. And so today's program, we are focusing on nutrition and healthy eating. Well, Kathy, why do so many people focus on nutrition as a New Year's resolution?
Well, I think people look new year, new beginning, so they focus on what can I do to live healthier? And one is eating better and exercise. Those two combined are very popular, along with smoking, quitting smoking. But most people start off and they're really rambunctious about it because, you know, they've had the holidays, they've been eating poorly, and they want to make some good changes. So that's a pretty big resolution.
Well, I know. I was just speaking with one of your colleagues today, and she had me laughing because I was saying that, again, I was on Facebook with one of my friends, and I said, let's go on a 100-day exercise. Let's just go to the gym or exercise at home for a half hour for 100 days. She burst out laughing. She said, 100 days. She said, how about taking it in 30? Which goes to my next question. Why is it so difficult for people to stay focused? So, and we won't even say 100. Let's say, so in terms of why it's so difficult for people to stay focused on healthy eating, and what increments do you recommend other than 100 days?
There's so many different diets and there's so much out there. So people get confused and overwhelmed and they set large goals, unrealistic goals. And that's the problem. You have to set one small goal. I mean, whether it's 5 pounds by the end of January or 10 pounds by the end of April that you want to lose, or just giving up soda. That's a big one. People drink a lot of regular soda, something like that to get that initiative going, or be realistic about how much are you going to exercise combined with healthy eating. Is it going to be 3 days a week or start at 2 days? But be realistic about it. Because if you set that goal and it's not a realistic goal, then you're going to, I don't want to say the word fail, but you're not going to be able to make that change. Habits, you form habits and it takes time.
Yes.
So it takes time to change those habits.
Now, something you mentioned, I'm just going to start. I know this is only our first couple questions. You mentioned soda. Is it diet or is it regular?
Well, so regular soda has the calories. It has the sugar and the calories, which in addition to what you're normally eating, you're drinking calories now, which now you have another problem to worry about.
So you're drinking and eating calories.
Yes. Diet, there's, it's it's a non-nutritive sweetener. So there's other issues with that we won't get into today. But,
Next
diet
time.
soda does not have the additional calories in it. So, I always promote water.
So, and I'm just kind of getting an idea. So the average size glass is like an 8-ounce glass. That's what most people have. Years ago, I know it was smaller. So how much sugar is in an 8-ounce glass of like juice or pop?
Well, it depends. Soda is different than juice. I don't have the numbers on me right now, but too many.
But you know what?
Too many additional grams. But I will have to find that out for you. I think it's over 5 grams. But
all right, and we will talk about that, about the phone number and people coming in for appointments and such to see you. Please describe some of the few risk factors of poor nutrition. Like, let's say if someone's skipping lunch, but they're eating a bag of potato chips for lunch because they're like, okay, it's small. So what are some of the risk factors of a poor nutrition?
Well, what we say about that is those are calorie-dense foods and not nutritionally dense. So what happens is you're eating a lot of calories for a little bit, and then you're not feeling full. Also, too, skipping meals is bad because when you skip meals, you decrease your metabolism. Everything slows down. Your body wants to reserve. So what happens is everything slows. So when you eventually eat later in the day, well, there's two things. People are very hungry, so they overeat. They make poor food choices, and their body is not, they're not using their energy during the day. So that's another problem. So their metabolism is slowed. So what they need to do is eat throughout the day and make healthy choices. So lower calorie choices, which would be your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, lean meats. So that's the biggest thing. With eating poorly, you're increasing your risk, obviously, of obesity, cardiovascular disease,
Diabetes?
type 2 diabetes, yes. So those are some of the cancers are also associated with poor eating habits too. So there's a lot of different negative
impacts.
Yes.
Can you please describe how the nutrition and the dietary department interacts with the patients at the hospital and to our listeners in the community?
So within the hospital, we see patients, we assess patients for their nutritional needs, develop and implement nutrition programs for those patients. So depending on their specific nutrition issues, the RD will provide nutrition education to the inpatient. And we can also let them know we have outpatient services. And you don't have to be inpatient to receive those, at one point. You can be somebody from the community and you're interested in weight loss, you have type 2 diabetes, you have high cholesterol, you want to see a dietitian. Barb Sylvester is our dietitian at Buffalo General. And so what we recommend people do is get a referral from their MD, their primary, and check with their insurance company too. What's your coverage with your insurance company? So then going into it, am I going to be covered? You can pay out of pocket, but most people like to work with their insurance and they're covered. So
and also I would think it could be prevention. So if you know someone in your family is a type 2 diabetic or has heart disease, you may want to visit the nutritionist just to make sure that you're not going down that path.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah, that's how I look at that.
Yep, it could be a family history.
So if someone, let's say for instance, I'm with a friend or family, if a friend or family member is going to the nutritionist to see you, can they bring someone with them to take notes and to make sure that that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing? Because sometimes a family member may come out and say, "Oh, I'm just fine. There's nothing wrong." But in reality, you've given someone a whole list.
Right, to bring somebody as a support.
One person, one support person.
Right, a support person to help you, somebody in the family to promote, the changes within the home. That's always very good.
And that's huge.
I know it really comes from within your home and especially with
going
children.
To your cabinets.
Yep. And everybody eating healthy in the home is so important.
And your phone number, in case somebody wants to stop right now and make an appointment, what number would they call?
The number they would call would be 716-859-2821. And you can ask for Barb Sylvester, and you're interested in making an outpatient appointment with her, and whomever answers the phone can help you. Several people will, we have other dietitians, so whomever will answer the phone, and they'll take the information and let that individual know what they need.
And if you could give that phone number one more time.
Sure. It's 716-859-2821.
Okay, thank you. Now, sometimes someone will say, "Oh, you're in high school, little, like you're 3 years old." So a 3-year-old is eating a couple donut holes. Let's say a donut. Oh, they're 3. They're a baby. High school. Oh, it'll burn off. Oh, they're an adult. Is a donut a donut a donut, regardless of how old you are?
Absolutely. People think, "Oh, well, I'm not putting on weight. I'm still lean."
Or they're a
it doesn't
baby.
matter. Right? No, it doesn't matter. We have a healthy weight clinic through Children's Hospital,
Yes.
which is a wonderful clinic, and working with young children, adolescents. It's so important.
Who would go there for that weight loss clinic for children?
You mainly would get a referral from your physician if they feel that your weight has become a problem, your child's weight has become a problem, and they're over a certain BMI. Then they would start, there's a reason for concern and feel that weight loss would be beneficial at this point in time.
And BMI is?
Well, BMI is your body mass index.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's your weight in kilograms divided by meters squared and your height. So there's a whole, but, that is not everything either.
Right.
Like, that's an estimated. Some people have more lean body mass, more muscle, which weighs more than fat. So it's used as an overall fact, way to look.
And what are some of the benefits, do you feel, of healthy eating?
Oh, benefits of healthy eating are obviously maintaining a healthy weight, feeding your body the right nutrients to give you energy and boost your mood. When you're eating poorly, you don't feel good. And people don't know because that becomes their baseline. They don't know that they're not feeling energetic or they're just feeling kind of...
Or they're getting constipated or they have acid reflux.
Absolutely. Yes.
That shouldn't be.
Yes.
That shouldn't be.
Yeah, chocolate will give you acid reflux for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things and people don't realize because they get into these poor eating habits and that's what they're used to and that's what they know and that's a comfort for them. So getting out of that comfort zone is the first.
Now, recently someone was saying that it's not that eating at night is bad for you. What they said was that a lot of times if you're eating at night, you're more inclined to grab something that's easy to eat. So eating at night, so if it's like 10 o'clock at night, you're less likely to grab a salad, but you're more likely to grab the cheese and crackers. And so that's why they say eating at night is bad for you. Is that true?
Right. Well, there's two things with that. Eating at night that's exactly right. You're going to make bad choices. You're sitting in front of the TV. You get out the bag of chips. You don't count how many chips you're eating. You don't count out a serving size. You just continue to eat and eat and eat. So you're over consuming. Secondly, there should be a time like from 8 at night till 8 in the morning, around 12 hours that you're fasting. Re-energize your body, and that's important to do too. People just get into those bad habits. There's nothing wrong with having a snack before bed. An apple. Yeah, an apple, a yogurt with a small apple. That's a whole nother program.
That's okay.
Portion control and serving sizes. That's another big one people have gotten away from. They go to have a bagel at Tim Hortons and they think they're eating one serving and they're actually eating 4. So
how about so again in terms of nutrition, if someone's going to make an appointment, what are the kind of things that the questions, like should they have questions or does the nutritionist ask questions? How does that work?
Yeah, the nutritionist will, obviously most people are coming in for a specific issue or just want general, I eat poorly, I want to be healthier. So she'll review their diet and then she'll set up an individual diet plan for that person. What do they need nutritionally? So she'll do a full assessment and then look at that and set up an individualized plan for that person. And then provide education, both written and verbal, and they will walk away with a plan. And then she will set up a follow-up visit. And when they come back, they will review, how have you been doing? What changes do we need to make to progress to a healthier lifestyle?
How about, so what does, I know we're running out of time, but what does a let's say either in the home or at your desk, wherever you eat the most, that's how I look at it, like where do you eat the most or eat the heaviest? What does a good, like what's a good protein? What's a good starch? What's a good vegetable? Like what's a desirable meal plan? Like what does it look like?
Yeah, like so when you're snacking, obviously vegetables, cut up some vegetables. You can cut up broccoli, carrots, peppers, obviously fruit.
You can eat that in the morning. You can eat veggies in the morning.
Sure, you can eat vegetables whenever you want. You can eat proteins when egg whites are great. They're a great source of protein. They're very low calorie, low fat, and filling.
Egg whites versus lunch meat.
Lunch meat processed. Stay away from processed food.
Bad. Okay. How about sweet potato versus white potato?
Sweet potatoes has more It has more vitamins and minerals than a white potato, but both, you still have to control how much you eat because there's still a carbohydrate, a starch. So you would want to stick to a small sweet potato or white potato and or a half a large.
A half a orange versus a whole orange, because I know there's sugar in an orange.
Size of orange is what you have to
Size
look
of
at.
orange,
So I
okay.
tell people half a cup, about a cup and a half of fruit a day, because fruit has sugar. So what I tell them is a tennis ball is a half a cup. So if you put an apple in your hand and it is the size of a tennis ball, you're eating about a half a cup. If it's the size of a softball, you're getting almost close to a cup and a half. A baseball is about a cup.
Now, are you familiar with, in a lot of stores, a lot of the grocery stores and other grocery stores, chain stores are now selling packets or containers that they're called serving size. Are you familiar with those?
I've seen those, yes.
So are those true? I mean, is that something?
They're sticking to
if
a
someone's-
serving, a half a cup, depending on what a serving size is. You look at a piece of meat, 3 ounces is a serving. That's a deck of cards. It's just, getting online and understanding getting visuals for what your servings are.
Because I have to say, I saw one of those the other day, and it reminded me of something that came with the dowel kit. So maybe what came with the dowel kit is the correct serving size.
Well, portion distortion, they call it.
Portion distortion. Okay.
That's what it is. We're very confused now. We're like, oh, that's on my plate. That's the portion. Well, no.
Oh, so
it's
maybe
about 7 portions.
So, listeners, in a lot of stores, I can't name names of grocery stores and chain stores. They have these containers, and they have like maybe 6 to a pack, and it'll say protein. It'll say fruit, so it kind of maps it out. Whether you like the size or not, what you're saying, Kathy, this is
that's
the
your
truth?
serving. Now, obviously, vegetables, because they're most vegetables are very low in sugar, so those are a good choice. You can eat more of those for less calories and very low in sugars.
Something else we hear a lot about is a good fat versus bad fat. So what does that mean?
So unsaturated would be your good fats, avocados, nuts.
Without salt and not roasted.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I know people get confused. There's so many things.
Right.
We could spend 2 hours doing this. But yeah, that's the so saturated fats would be your butters and
Lards, margarine.
Yep, those would be your saturated whole milk. So you have to be careful. Low-fat milk, low-fat yogurts, cheese has a lot of saturated. The harder the butter or margarine, the more saturated it
cheese.
is. And cheese, yes.
You know what? This sounds like I need your phone number again. It sounds like
Yes.
someone needs to make a call. What's that number?
716-859-2821.
And something that is and dessert. I know. Okay, I'm really cutting it close. Dessert. How about dessert? Like that. It's holiday time. We're getting ready to go into Martin Luther King Day and Valentine's Day and President's Day, and there are a lot of so there are a lot of celebrations, and you see the cakes 2 and 3 layer with that frosting.
Well,
What
I
do you
tell
say?
people to be realistic in life. Don't never say never.
Okay.
You can have those things once in a while. I mean, in moderation. That's what it's about. It's learning moderation. If you can get there, then you're fine. You can go to that party and have a piece of cake. Doesn't mean the next day then you're like, well, that's it. I had cake last night. I'm off. I'm going to have fried food for lunch. No, I had the cake. I know it wasn't the best choice, but you enjoyed it, and then the next day you go back to your healthy eating.
And I want to say a benefit of meeting with you or someone from your department, they will talk about the difference between a regular cake, a cheesecake, a pound cake, and an angel food cake.
Oh,
because all of those
absolutely.
cakes are totally
Right.
and pies, sweet potato pie. They're all different. How about water? Basic water. How important is water?
Water is, everyone needs water. A lot of your body is made up of water. It's so important, but it depends. It's not that set amount that people talk about, 8-ounce glasses. That's a good basis, but it depends on your age, your weight, how much you're exercising. You need to replete that water. So you're going to drink more water if you're exercising for an hour. So obviously water is very, very important, and getting enough minimally 8 ounce glasses.
We have a couple more minutes left, so we have about a couple more minutes. Is there anything you want to talk about in a minute that I didn't ask you?
Just back to being realistic. What's something that you want to change now that is realistic for you to change?
Right.
And then maybe educating yourself. I use my choosemyplate.gov is a great.
What is it? It's a website?
Yep. It's the USDA. Yep. Choosemyplate.gov. So that's great. It's got your servings, how many calories you should have in a day, estimated based on your weight, height. It will do that for you. Calculate how many calories about, if you're looking for that, how many servings you should be eating of each food group, what the food groups are, and healthy choices.
And speaking of plate, again, that triggered a thought. Look at the plates that your mother has, or your grandmom, or big mama, or your great grandmother. Those plates were much smaller. So those serving sizes were much smaller because you could fit less on that plate.
Right.
So when you're looking at the plate, people say small plates, or even the plate that someone used 25 years ago.
Right.
That plate is also a more accurate size.
Right. Again.
Well, Kathy, I just want to say that it's been great talking with you. I know this is not the last time that I'll have the dietary and nutrition department from Kaleida Health on our program because we have a lot of holidays and a lot of questions and things coming up.
Absolutely.
And so I want to thank you for being the first guest.
Yes, thank you for having me.
The kickoff show on nutrition.
Yes.
And that number one more time.
Sure, 716-859-2821.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to say a few announcements that we have coming up. January 13th, from around 10 in the morning till around 9 in the morning till noon, you will see Kaleida Health. We'll have a table at the Day of Service, which is part of the City of Buffalo, at City Hall, right there in City Hall on the first floor. Also, on January 24th, Kaleida Health will have a table at the UBEOC. That's inside the Arthur O. Eve building. And again, Kaleida Health will have a table. If you would like for Kaleida Health to be at your event, that could be at your school, at your church, at your PTA group, wherever you have a large group of people and you're thinking about health, please give me a call, 859-8045, 859-8045. And in 2 weeks, next week, our guest will be Kelly Showard from ECMC. God be willing, in 2 weeks, I will see you, where our guest in 2 weeks will be the president and CEO of Kaleida Health, Jody LeMayo. God be willing, again. My name is Francesca Messiah from Kaleida Health, where we see people and not just patients. Bye-bye.